All right, y'all, I'm back. Please let this stupid thing work now. Can y'all hear me? Tap in if y'all can hear me. Please say yes, because I am so tired of dealing with this YouTube. Good. Now let's see if you could turn this off. Okay. So let's see if we can now share my screen. But let me go ahead and wait. Hey Avon, hey Lynn. So let me tell y'all first, thank you for being patient with me and while I try to do this live stream. I know that I'm supposed to have done it last week, show you series of tips and knowledge in terms of an actual tax return. Now, as we know, but don't let this day bother most people thinking that, oh, I need to file, I didn't file. The most important thing you want to know, number one, and I'm going to speak with the full-time drivers first. Full-time drivers. Now, I've been watching a lot of videos within this year and a half, going on 2 years, in these ride-sharing gigs. And a lot of people have made or gotten wrong information. And me being as a professional, working for the IRS for over 10 years and working in the tax industry for over 20 years, I was able to share my experience as a working with the IRS and dealing with taxes. You know, I have my background in terms of my work experiences in taxes. My background is accumulated with my education, gives me the qualifications to speak on these topics. Now, when I started doing ride-sharing gigs, my intentions was to work until I find another job. So last year, in 2017, was the first year that I've actually worked mainly a 1099 gig job. So as you see from my videos, I worked at Uber, Uber Eats, Grubhub, DoorDash. Look at it, I even wore the shirt, not to say I'm supporting them. Instacart, Chip. No, I did that the previous year before. I did that the year before last. And from my experience as these ride-sharing gig economy jobs that I've done, I was quite surprised that despite of, a lot of financial hardships, a lot of setbacks, that I was able to stay afloat working at these gig jobs. Now, I will be, let's not take this working at these gig jobs and today being the tax deadline as a end result. We should always continue to learn throughout the year, be more accountable for what we're doing for our taxes. And let me say one thing that I hear a lot of people say, oh, I have an accountant. Not to be funny, but people who work these type of jobs, whether you work part-time as in these gig jobs, working at a regular job, you don't have an accountant. I'm sorry to say, accountants, CPAs, they do not handle these type of income streams. People who have millions and millions of dollars of assets, people who file business return quarterly, not independent contractors who work for Uber. They're not. So please let's make it a habit to not say my accountant. Exactly, Miss G. Most of y'all cannot afford an accountant. An accountant does not do simple returns and do, okay, here you go, here's my Schedule C. And, first of all, stop telling people on YouTube who drives full time, who makes 1,100 a month, 4,000 a month, or whatever on grinding, and saying, "Oh, my accountant said, you pay at the end of the year." If one thing no one does not help you do this year, if it's the one thing that someone needs to tell people is, if they can't sit down and tell you, you know what, you need to pay $4,000 for the whole year, $7,000 for the whole year, and pay quarterly. If they're not telling you that, don't deal with them. Don't go to people who just hand them all your information and you expect them to decipher all your paperwork. Don't go with a app and say, "Well, I kept track of my miles on the app." It's good to keep track of your miles on the app. There's nothing wrong with that. But you want to choose a tax preparer or a tax consultant. Because, see, I'm not a tax preparer. I'm a tax consultant. There's a difference. Now, I consult people in regards to taxes beyond April 16th, beyond today. I will be with y'all throughout the whole entire year, giving you guidance, tips, information that goes beyond just filling out Section 7 on a 1040, which is wages, and going to line 36 and everything else. So we have to be, so if you weren't able to pay it and you don't have no money, don't say, "Okay, I'm not going to file because I owe." That's the worst thing you could do. That's the worst thing you could do is not file your taxes if you cannot afford to pay. If you cannot afford your taxes or you think you're going to owe, file an extension. Extension of file. An extension of file is not an extension to pay. If you owe a balance today, you don't pay it today, starting tomorrow, interest is accruing daily at 0.5% plus the interest rate, which is 4%, and it's compounded daily. That's not a whole. Now you may say, "Oh, that's a lot of money," but to avoid the biggest penalty is the delinquent penalty: failure to file, failure to pay. If you don't file that extension today, now let me go ahead and see if I can share my screen with y'all. Please, let me see if I can share this screen because I hate to not see it. Now I'm gonna flip it over and tell me if y'all can see it because I've been trying to figure out this damn. Let me see here. Oh, I hate this. Let me see. Tell me if y'all see it. If y'all can't see it, then I'm gonna have to restart this stream again and go to the Google Hangout. So tell me if y'all can see it, and then I'm gonna come back in a second. Did y'all see anything? Did you see a sharing of a screen? Let me see. Let me see here. I hate not having to know how to share the screen. Okay. Let me look at my phone and see if y'all saying anything in the chat. Now, let me also tell you another thing. For those who need to file an extension, you can file an extension for free. You could go to irs.gov and you could go ahead and file your tax return for free. Do not, I repeat, do not go to Jackson Hewitt, H&R Block, or any persons who tells you, "Oh, it costs $50, $25 to file an extension. You can file an extension online for free. Unfortunately, there are no regulations for tax preparers, and a lot of tax preparers will charge a fee. So do not pay a fee to file an extension. Now, back to the extension. If you file an extension, you have until October 15th to file your tax return. You can file your tax return 6 months from today. Now, it doesn't give you an extension to pay, it gives you an extension to file. Now, if you're unable to pay, you could set up two things. Either one, you could set up an installment agreement, and it costs $125. Now, it may have gone up, I don't know. But if you want to file an installment agreement, you can set up a payment plan. They'll set up 72 months, and you can make small payments throughout the month. However, if you want to do a 60, 90, or 120 days, the IRS could give you a extension to pay where it's not a formal payment arrangement, but they could give you 4 months to pay it. You pay less interest and penalties, of course, and the quicker you could pay it, the sooner you could pay it off in full, the less you pay the interest and penalties. So the first thing you want to do is when you call the IRS, or you go online, because we tell you, calling the IRS is going to be a very hard task to reach them on the phone. Now, every year around this time, they tend to have more people on the phones. More people are on the phones around this time of year than any other time of the year. So if you owe a balance, now let me repeat this: if you owe a balance and you think you're gonna owe, file that extension first. If anything else, file that extension. It only takes 2 seconds to do. Now, I'm gonna do another live stream. I'm gonna end this one, and I'm gonna do another video where I'm gonna show you my screen and show you my tax return, because I don't think this is working to share it. So I want y'all to come back where I'm able to share the screen, and I'm able to show you other screens and websites as well. So what's another tip I want to give you before I switch over and talk about, and y'all could give me some answers. Hey, Nicole Rose, and y'all could ask your questions, and I'll answer them for you this evening. I'm sitting here at Chick-fil-A because me, like a silly goose, canceled my internet at home because I was trying to cut down some expenses and change my mind, and then they won't come out to my house until next Saturday to reconfigure my modem. So I was like, oh, that's stupid. So I got to go to a Chick-fil-A, use the Wi-Fi for free. So what is other things that I wanted to share with y'all right now? Oh, estimated tax payments. If you're driving full-time, doing these gigs full-time, and you don't have a job to take out additional tax withholdings, today is the first payment that is due for your estimated quarterly payments for the year, for next year, April, September, December, and January of the following year. So for all these people, for the last 200 videos, where I keep hearing people talk about my, did you get a buzzer? Okay, Paul, you know that. Okay, see, I'm gonna put you in timeout because see, now you're trying to be funny. I'm not answering no questions about Grubhub. You know I don't do anything with Grubhub, but you get on here and you ask me about some stupid bonus for Grubhub. Let me put you in timeout because see, you one of these people. Obviously, I made a whole big video about this issue, and here you come talking about some irrelevant. Don't be irrelevant in my video. That has nothing to do with it. Did you see my title says Grubhub or whatever? No, you didn't. So don't ask me no question. And besides, it's none of your business if I got a bonus or not. So Don't ask me that question. You know, I hate that. See, that's one thing I don't like about people is that they always want to go and talk about this is what I made and this is how much money I made and this and that. And I don't care. You never see me talk about, you know, I will tell people how I'm done in regards to a certain time of the year, like New Year's or Christmas and things of that nature. But why are you counting my money? Why are you worrying about what if I got a bonus or not? If I did, I wouldn't tell you. I wouldn't tell anybody. But why would you ask that question when I'm trying to go something more important? My question to you is, did you pay your taxes today? Since you want to make $2,000 a week and drive like a crazy fool all over Atlanta, did you pay your taxes? And don't tell me, you know, perfect example, y'all. This is what I be talking about. This is what I'm talking about. People get on YouTube, they talking about they made $1,500, $2,000, whatever the hell they make every week. And then they want to come up and pop up in the video or live stream. I made $50,000, but I paid zero taxes to the state. I paid zero taxes to the federal. First of all, I'm going to tell you right now, if you made $40,000, $50,000 a year and you not paid not one tax in withholdings to another job or pay an estimated tax payment, you're going to get a penalty. You're going to get a penalty. And I'm telling you, the IRS does not handle its situations immediate. They go down the road 6 months, 7 months later. People will get letters. They're going to say, oh, according to our records, because let me tell you how it works. If you listen to anything that I've ever said in any of my videos, y'all gonna listen to this one. And I'm gonna tell you how the IRS works. See, right now, taxes are due, right? So when everybody files their tax returns and the IRS, downloads all this, information in the system, 6 months, 3 to 6 months after the tax season is over, businesses also download and submit the 1099s, the Schedule K1s, the 1098s, all of that. All of that information is reconciled. So if I'm going to give Grubhub, for example. Grubhub is going to notify the IRS and file its business returns. It's going to give its 1099s that it gave to each and every independent contractor, and they're going to know how much money you made. The tax record is going to show. They're going to show that, okay, this person made $25,000 worth of income. You turn around and you put $10,000 on your return. The IRS is going to say, bing, you underreported your income. Where's the other $15,000 that we showed that you made, but you only put down $10,000? So if you think that you can get paid under the table, or thinking that, I didn't get a 1099, so I'm not going to report it. So because I didn't get it, I'm not going to put it on the return. Let me tell you, the IRS is going to get that information months in the road, and when they reconcile the books, and I was making it simple terms, I'm not even going to use the actual technical terms. So they're going to say, okay, let's go ahead and compare Miss G's income, what she filed, versus the income that's reported under Miss G's Social Security number and ITIN number, and cross-reference it. If it doesn't add up, if it ain't making dollars, it's not gonna make. If it ain't making any sense, then you ain't making no dollars. If it don't make sense, you ain't making dollars. And trust and believe, you will get a CP 2000 notice of underreporting of income. And the IRS is basically going to do your return all over again. You're going to get penalized. You're going to get a penalty for delinquent penalty. You're going to get failure to file. See, there's so many different penalties with the IRS. It's ridiculous. And that's what's going to get a lot of people in trouble, especially those who are in these ride-sharing gigs. See, if you go back to my blog, 1099taxes.wordpress.com, I wrote an article, and I need to start writing my blog. And according to the New, and I even referenced it, the New York Times and I think it was the Washington Post on my blog, they stated that there was millions of dollars of penalties that the IRS has not assessed in regards to the estimated tax payments that were not penalized. They weren't penalizing the estimated tax payments. And let me tell you, they could go back. Let me tell you, the IRS could assess a tax return 10 years. You could file a tax return and they could go back. And they could go back on previous tax years and they could then assess any penalties that were not done. They could go back and review and audit the returns. It doesn't have to be done this year. It's not something they do this year. And I'm going to be honest with you. Most people, I mean, I'm not talking about the earned income credit, you know, people who filed earned income credit and they had dependents and people were fighting over dependents and said, I'm supposed to claim the dependent. No, he's supposed to claim and this and that. I'm not talking about that. Those returns were already being held and they weren't processing those returns until March under the Patriot. It's an act. I can't remember what it called. Patriotic something they implemented to cut back on these earned income credit tax fraud that people were doing. But in terms of those other penalties and that other income that's been underreported, it's going to be handled at the end of the tax season. It's not going to be done now. They're not going to do it now. They're going to wait till the end of the year. And sometimes it's a whole year. So for those who think that they were trying to get away with things, oh, I didn't pay, I made $50,000 with Uber, driving with Uber, but I ain't pay no tax because my accountant said, and I paid for some TurboTax audit protection. TurboTax audit protection does not mean that you don't get audited, nor does it mean that it protects you from getting your tax return done. You can get audited. Let me repeat this. You can get audited even if you bought a so-called program from TurboTax or H&R Block for auditing protection. All that says is that if you get audited, TurboTax, Jackson Hewitt responsibility is to inform you what the letter is asking you to do, and they will help you gather what the information is about. It doesn't stop your return from being audited. That's another thing I heard on somebody's video. I ain't got to worry about being audited because I bought the TurboTax audit protection program. That's not what that is. And I know because I worked at TurboTax from home from that other company that I was telling you about that I worked at a couple of months ago. And one of my technical duties was to go over the audit program, or better yet, transfer them to the audit thing. But I knew what that was. So please, that's another thing. Please stop listening to people who says, I ain't gonna get audited because I bought the audit program for TurboTax and I'm not gonna get audited. Really? So that's why I made this video. And let me tell you, one thing I've learned, let me see if I can go back and show. Tell me if y'all see my returns. Something. Let me see. Did y'all see anything? Ain't nobody saying nothing. Let me see. Let me look at this. What? Let me see here. I'm looking at myself on the screen on the phone, but let me see something. All right, I can't see it. All right, Miss G. Thank you for letting me know. But tell me, do y'all have any questions that y'all want to answer? Because I don't know. Maybe it don't make any sense to show you my return because it really ain't gonna really do much of anything. But I could tell you, um, Credit Karma is one product I would recommend. It's free for one thing. Two, they do have somebody on there that you could chat with that can help you, but I've never been able to get anybody from the chat from Credit Karma. So I'm going to end this live stream. I'm going to restart it again, and I'm going to do it where I can get to share my screen because I think this would be effective live stream by actually showing you. So now I know that the sound system works. Now it's time to figure out where the dang live stream link to share your screen. I don't get it. All right, y'all. Tell me if y'all gonna come back in 2 minutes on my other program because I'm really getting tired of why I can't review my I can see it on the phone, but I can't see it on the dang laptop. I can see it on the screen, but hey, Lynn, you back? Okay, Lynn, I'm going to have to redo this video, and I'm going to end the live stream. I'm coming right back in the next 1 minute because I want to be able to share my screen. I think I'm on the wrong screen. So just come on back, y'all. Let me redo this again. Let me end it, and let me end it completely. All right, come back, Lynn. Come back, Paul. You can come back, Paul. I'll let you back. But don't be asking me those ding-dong questions about no dumb Grubhub. And Avon, y'all come back. All right, let me log off real quick. I'll be back in a second.